Hey everybody, this is Zach Mullins from The Grip Show, and recently I did a video on seated rope climbs, and it was actually me sitting on top of the 45-pound plate, pulling the plate and my body weight up, and then lower myself down kind of slow. So if you look over here at the video, you can kind of see that, and all it is basically just a knot in this rope that is tied through the center of the plate. So it's not going to come out, it's not going to come undone. The only worry you have, I guess, is if you burn out or you don't feel strong enough or something slips and boom, you might drop. But it's really not that dangerous. It's really not that big of a deal, but I guess it's something to think about depending on how you're training. And that's not the only way to do it. We'll kind of get into that as well. But wanted to take the time and say that, you just obviously need a bar or a pull-up rack, something to pull the rope over. And for this case, I have probably about an inch and a half thick diameter rope. So not so thin that you're going to burn your hands up or you can't grab it. And then also, not so thick that you're not really moving a substantial amount of weight. So it's kind of in the middle. But yeah, you're going to get a lot of good lat work and grip work in this fashion. And maybe it kind of breaks up your general training routine from doing pull downs or, regular machines. One more thing to consider before I get into some of these variations is how quick it is to just jump on the plate, sit, and then jump off. If you have multiple people training with you, that might be better than having a set amount of weight on the rope that everybody's doing if they're at different levels. If you have just one plate and everybody's rotating through with their body weight, whether they weigh 160, boom, that's 160 on, 160 off. Next person up, bang, 230. And so assuming everybody can move their own body weight, you could load and unload things very quickly in that fashion. So as opposed to, throwing on 4 or 5 plates and then getting that right, and then maybe someone can't do it, and save yourself a lot of trouble with all the setup is just using your body weight. So in that video, I was being kind of lazy. I just wanted to jump on and didn't feel like moving a bunch of plates and messing around. Just wanted to jump on and pull myself up. So talking to a friend of mine, Jed Johnson, he talked about using PVC pipe to reduce friction on the rope. I mean, not that the ropes are super expensive, but yeah, if you're buying new ropes or you have ropes at your gym or something, you don't want to be, tearing them up, having them fray and split, or, I don't know, dropping weights or dropping yourself. So the introduction of the PVC pipe was really a cool idea by Jed. And I don't know if he was doing actual climbs, pulling himself up, or if it was just pulling weights hand over hand and the weight just moves, but he recommended using this PVC pipe setup here. So basically, as you're pulling, and you could be seated, you could do it any way you want. So let's just say I sat down here, right? And, obviously different from the video I did where I was the one, sitting on the plate and pulling myself up. You could load this to any, set amount of weight on the other end. And then the PVC pipe is just going to reduce friction as you pull up. So then you're here, hand over hand, and you're just pulling that weight up. And then you can lower it back down. Just like that. So, like I said, pretty simple setup. And there's probably pros and cons to doing both methods. But yeah, really just had a lot of people kind of asking me about the seated variation where I was on the plates and pulling myself up. And wanted to kind of talk about that tip that Jed gave with the PVC pipe to reduce the friction on the rope. And then also just, just kind of hit on the other variations where you don't have to sit on the plate. You don't have to sit on the other side and pull a plate stack. Really it's whatever suits your training and fits your goals the best, or however you want to mix it up. So these are just a couple ideas. There's probably a million different variations and 1,000 more things you could add to that. But for now, keeping it pretty simple, and just wanted to touch on that video. And yeah, thank you guys for watching.